Hello, Graybeard here, and as I suggested, we're gonna do the mirrors and the seat on this one in this video. And while I'm at it, like, comment, share, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. Hit that bell for all notifications, and that way you'll get an alert every time I put out some new content. But anyways, yeah, like, share, comment. Yeah, a lot of people watch the video, but they won't tell me nothing. Let me know that they liked it. All them interactions help. And they're absolutely, positively free. Don't cost you a dime, just a little clicky click. Little tappy tap on the keys for the comment. But yeah, I figure we'll start on the seat. And actually, let's point you over in this direction. Got the seat right in the center of the whatchamacallit there. Grab my fancy hyper tough ratcheting wrenches. Don't know if I'm gonna use the ratcheting part, but more of a 14. Yeah, I guess we could. Loosen her up enough to where you can get this off. I'm hoping this will fit on there. I guess I got to take the whole thing out so as we can get the rest of this off. There we go. There we go. We need to take that off because all we need is this part here and the seat. And then slap all this back together here so as we don't forget none of it. Trying to. Oh, okay. And that way, if we decide to swap them out or use that other seat on something else, we got the hardware to do it. Of course, you can always probably take it off the other seat you're going to take off the other bike. But either way, I can stick this down here on this rack and forget about it for a decade. But anywho's, or how, get you back over her. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm trying to lay down here. Got to basically do the same thing on this. Let's see if it's the same size. And it is. Make sure we're going the right way. It looks like it. They had it on there tight. See what happens to this side. Oh, I'm tightening them back up, evidently. What we're going to do now, both nuts came off though, where the other one, the one nut stayed on. Trying to understand here. Okay, let's pull the bolt out. There we go. Now that seat's off. And then try to see if we can do this here. Stick this one right here, like so. Hopefully this is, it's always harder putting the other one back on, I guess. Well, not always. Oh, see there, here comes the fumbling and struggling part. Yep, hard on an old fat boy, especially when he's decrepit and stiff. All righty. Now, if this was a, ha ha ha. There we go. Now, normally you'd put that gear together and put it on the pole, but this is part of the pole itself where, you know, it stays with it with that thing there. So let me do a little quick measuring. 2 to the outside, just a hair under 2. So this one is a little tighter. I don't know how I'd go about stretching that out. But let's see. We need to try to get that on there, dang it. So yeah, it's a little tighter on this seat than it was on the other, because it's just like a 1/16 or so closer on the inner measurement on that. Starting to look like something, ain't it? I'm hoping. Yeah, we got to make sure we have the lined up with the hole. Let me get my big old hog head in the way here. On my old decrepit knees. This one's pretty lined up. I guess what I need to do is get the bolt. See, it's going in on this, well, part of the way. There we go. Let's see, might be able to use this to line the whole thing up, actually. There we are. I thought I was going to fumble and struggle a lot longer. Then you put these little ones in there. There we go. Oh, no. Let's get one nut on. Oh, no, you don't. Trying to get the bolt centered. Get one nut on. That needs to go, yeah, like that. There we go. And then the other bolt, or nut, excuse me. Get that on there. I almost look like I know what I'm doing, you know, besides all the fumbling. Oh. It's weird, because this other bolt, you'd think you need to put a wrench on it to hold it, but it's holding. Now, we have a dilemma here. See how the seat's angled? Oh. That's something I didn't think about. I didn't put that into consideration. See if we can. There we go. That's about right. I don't know, does she look a little fatter in the rear end here? Oh. Oh, no, the other way. Nope, that way. Oh yeah, you see that? She got a lot more spring in her step, I tell you. Get you over here. Get a set on her and see what she feels like. Blong. Oh yeah. This is gonna take bumps a lot better. And so far it ain't noisy. If she gets noisy, yeah, this thing's gonna be a lot better ride. That's why I say the step through you can get old decrepit farts like me can get on there a lot easier. It's a little tiny white dot. There it is, it's gone. And there's another little tiny white dot, and it's gone. It's brand new. It's that easy. And like I say, you can still hit the little lever, flip her up, get her out of the way, and get your battery. And then, boom. Done. Now, and you're right there. Got you right in got it right in your peepers. I found my smaller little cutter. We're gonna do some digging here. Get her cut out. Oop. You gotta be careful. Try not to cut yourself. See, it keeps coming out of the... I'm about to butcher these handle grips up. This ain't feeling like the handle grips. You know, the end of the bar should be all the way out on the outside of the inside of the handle grip, if you get what I'm saying. This piece should come out. There we go. Thrash. Trying not to butcher up the handle grip, you know, where you can seize it. I mean, it can look disgusting as I'm doing it, but you got to do it in a way that when you're done and you get your mirror on there, it doesn't show. Yeah, I noticed that one piece fall. And I noticed that one too. I don't know where the other one went. Oh, I see it. It's way over here. Anywho's, what I was saying about the handlebar, yeah, it's in there a little ways. As long as we can fit it in there, though. Mirrors are right here. Just like the ones on the Jans No and the Amiet. It's funny too. See everything going like yeah, okay, we're 15 minutes in. I was hoping to have it all done within 15 minutes and then ride. Okay, this would normally be this side mirror, but we're gonna make it this side mirror. Yep. This is the big mirror inner diameter. So we got to take that off. I would reach for my Allen set, but I got one here that'll fit it anyway. And Hopefully we don't make too much of a mess, fumble around. Gotta loosen this up to get all this stuff off of her, because we need the smaller ones, I believe. There we go. And then it comes with a little, this is what I was thinking was funny. It comes with an Allen wrench to do the job for you, right? Here's a little smaller inner diameter. Well, this is for one mirror. Well, it comes with another pack for the other side and another Allen wrench. Why don't they just give you just one Allen wrench and put both of them in one baggie? I don't get it. But at least they ain't cheaping out. Yeah, you have to have all the smaller bits or it won't work. So then you slide. So you got an inner and an outer, which on these they're exactly alike. So it don't matter which one you put on the inner. Just get, it's got a little, I don't know if you can see it there. It's got like a hex shape, and there's a hex shape on the mirror. That locks that in. Boom, she's in. And then this goes in. And see how it's cockeyed? You got to pop that to where it's, well, you got to get them straight. They ain't cattywampus on you. There we go. Boom, and you meet that up like that, because when you tighten it, it's going to spread this out, and that's what causes it to lock in. And there you go there. And then you got a little tiny nut that goes into that hex shape. And that'll lock that in. So when you tighten this up, that don't spin on you. Boop-a-doo-doo. So there we go. Now, let's see if we can get it to go inside there. Boom, I think. Yeah. Sometimes you got to fiddle with it where I didn't. There we go. There we go. Now you can see what I'm doing here. Make sure I'm trying to see on my front screen to show me that I'm showing you what I'm trying to show you. Oh, little Allen head. Doodle-doo-doo. And see, I'm dropping this basically straight down. I should be able to get the, what you call it. You know, I should be able to set this to where I need it. In fact, let me get on the bike and see. Before I get too, what do you call it, invested. That's as far over as I can get, just about. Get you even further over here. Set my phone on the bench here. Yeah, that's why I was thinking about getting a different camera. There's also, I was thinking DJI, because with DJI, I don't need the receiver of the mic setup. The camera will automatically receive this mic without that, because it's got a receiver built into the camera that'll pick it up. Just for right now, I'm gonna drop this down just a little bit so as I can sit on here a little easier. I like it a little higher than flat-footed. Although this don't feel bad. And I'm still not completely flat-footed. But yeah, this is going, this seat. But yeah, I can see behind me. Oh yeah, this is good enough. So we're gonna tighten that down and try to mimic that angle over on the other side once we get this one tightened down. Yeah. I don't know if it does to y'all if you've watched my other videos where I put mirrors on bikes. It seems like that went a little quicker. I don't know if it's because I got that smaller cutter. It's a little easier to deal with, you know, because it's not so wide that you can't really cut curves with it. And hopefully, when I get done here, yeah, that should be tight enough. So I ain't really torqued it down, but this ain't really gonna move. I don't see any mess ups. Maybe one right there. But that's on the bottom. Ain't nobody gonna see that. Oh. Let me get turned around here. If I got enough room to get turned around. Woo. Yeah, we'll do another ride on the Polarna soon as well. And I'll show you them mirrors. Because, like I say, I tried to record me putting the mirrors on there, swapping the old ones out for the new ones. And a ride. See, yeah, right dead center of the daggone screen, if it looks like. Boop, 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 boop. Anyways. Yeah, you got to be extra careful on these handlebars because they're in a little bit instead of right up against the edge. So what I'm going to do now, you have to let the blade go in even further. And it's not good for these blades, but as long as you let it guide on that handlebar, the inner diameter of the handlebar. See, I'm doing even better on this one. Good Lord. Like a pro. That should pop right out. It should. Boom. Almost perfect. And no mess ups. Maybe if I was a little more careful on the first one. Okay. And basically, doing the same thing. I got to get the guts out of the ones that they send with you. The ones they send on the mirror, like I say, are for, these are the big ones from the first mirror that we just installed. And then this, the only thing you keep is the little nut on the end of the bolt. And the bolt. Yeah, them other mirrors, man, they gave me all sorts of trouble off at Polarna. So then, like, if I ever decide to upgrade these mirrors to something better and end up using these old mirrors on another bike that needs a bigger diameter, keep these. Oh. Yeah, here's the new little ones. Thought I messed myself up, but I didn't. Like I say, got an inner, an outer, and the middle, of course. And there's the Allen wrench. Yeah, this one, I don't know, maybe it's from the mirrors I just put on the Polarna. And it's same size, fits, and does the job, so I used it. They're not the best, but it works. And like I say, you got a little hex shape. Find that little hex shape. It'll lock down in there, and then that'll hold. Put that in there where the little peak is, you see. Line this up same way. And you see you got like almost a 4-prong thing there. Well, it's got the little square spots for the thing there, and then the triangular spots for that right there that spreads that. And that, like I say, that's what locks it into the inner diameter of the handlebar. And like I say, you got the little hex shape. Got a little cat hair on the tip of my finger. Get that pushed in there to where it locks, and run your bolt in a little bit. You'll have to run it in for a little bit too, like I say, because This is a lot smaller, so it's not as wide as the big one. You don't want to get this in there and the bolt be sticking out like that and be spinning. But I don't think we'll have that problem. But just make sure you ain't like, about like that. Got a little bit of bolt sticking out. Anywho's, back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'm gonna let them understand. Oh, from a young G's perspective. Oh, little snoop-a-loop there. Old school. I don't like any of this new rap, but I like the old rap. There's a lot I liked back in the 80s, especially in the early 90s too. And trying to make sure we got the same angle here. I think I need to go just a hair like that. Let me see. Toodaloo. Toodaloo. Try to get your handlebar straight. Actually, no, it's a little straighter down. I think that's good. I don't think it'll be noticed on a galloping horse or a bicycle going down the road. And like I say, this is out on the very outer edge of the handlebar. If I'd have bought mirrors that clamped over here on the inside, on the bar on the inside of the handle grips and everything, it would come up here and it'd be viewed right at my shoulders. I wouldn't be able to see nothing. So this was the best option, and I think going underneath here, I hope I'm not sound like I'm yelling too much. But anywho's, or how, let's see, does she try to move? Well, let's give it just a little more crank. Oh yeah. Minimal movement. I mean, like it ain't really, you can feel a little bit of a flex there, but it's not. It's holding its place. And then, yeah, this seat is like 4 times as comfortable as the other one. And yeah, I think, got plenty. I just need to be able to go high enough with the mirror, on the angle to see behind me. And yeah, I can see behind me real well. So this will work real well. And it's low profile. Ain't nothing up here. Huh? Tell me what you think. Huh? Like I say, she's on there. On there. Permanente. Yeah. That's the end of the first portion of this video. And lay down a comment. Let me know what you think. Is that the way you would have done it, or should they be up top here? Let me know. I like to hear feedback. Constructive criticism doesn't hurt a real man's feelings. And, I might cry, in private, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, we're going to do a ride next. We'll see you in just a sec. I was fixing to take a ride. It just started raining. You can still see some dryness on my bed cover. I tried to start it, but you got to set the time and date on this thing every time you put a battery in it. But anyways, the GoPro, that is. Yeah, we'll try again here in a minute, hopefully. Alrighty, we trying it again. I'm hoping I got everything set right. You can see the seat, nice and springy. That other seat, it looked like a Springer seat, but it didn't spring much. Not near as much as this one. And takes a little getting used to. This seat kind of feels a little free willy. I'm hoping you can see everything. Yeah, like I say, these bikes aren't too bad as long as you don't mind 18 mile an hour. Throttle only, that is. Trying to get my mirrors dialed. This one here was closer, but it's a little harder on this bike. But yeah, this seat makes takes a lot of the bumps out. Like I say, if you pedal, which I should do more of, but I'm all the way in 7th, and to get it to go over 18, you really got to pedal fast. And I don't understand the point of limiting throttle only to 18 and letting you go faster pedaling. Because if you're doing one less thing, you can focus more on what you're doing, you know, where you're going and whatnot. Yeah, oh man. This seat is cush. Not bad for $3 at Goodwill. The mirrors were about 18 bucks. And they work pretty good. Of course, you probably don't see them on your screen at the moment because they're under the handlebars. But yeah, this thing was beating me to death with that factory seat on here, and this thing's doing pretty good now. Got a lot of cushion. The seat's really cushy and springy. So yeah, it's a lot smoother ride. A lot. I wouldn't say as good as the dual suspension bikes, but it's close. Like I say, this thing will top out at 18. It says 20 on the bike speedo. Of course, you know, they like to exaggerate a little bit. Brakes on this bike are great, and they're just mechanical. You see a lot of these snooty bike reviewers, and when a bike has mechanical brakes, it only has mechanical brakes. Mechanical brakes work just fine. Now, I could say a bike that can do 30 some mile an hour, you might want, you know, what you call it, hydraulics. But for what this bike does, mechanical is just fine. Now the newer version, the 3.0, it has hydraulic brakes. It's got rear suspension too. Soon we'll do a tire swap. It's weird though. Look. So I got it up to 26 just then. Like I say, these bikes are they're more compact. They're actually considered a compact frame. And it puts the handlebars a lot closer to you, which I think gives you less control. So like I say, on a bike like this, slower is not that bad. See, it's, you go to adjust your mirror and like I say, your control, it start make you feel wobbly and wonky. I got them dialed though. I wished it had a higher gear on the pedal, you know, crank. Woohoo! But it does good. It does every bit as good as the other bikes going up hills and whatnot. The train. That's the first time I've seen it in a long time. I hope I'm giving you a good angle with the chesty. I got it kind of just slightly turned down. Hopefully you can see the speedo and whatnot. Some people complain if they can't see that, and then the others say you can't see enough road and whatnot. This is a stark difference between this and the S8 though. That S8 it's a riot. Like I say, I'll probably never buy another one of these folding bikes like this. I don't know. The newer ones are a little nicer though, so I can't say never. Oh, I think I know a hack, but I don't want to break the bike, you know, trying to do it. There's a sensor on the cranks. And if I can somehow move that sensor to the wheel, I can possibly hack it to do 28 anytime I want, throttle only. But, you know, you got to have a nice way to mount that sensor up there and everything. But it gets through the park just as easy as the other bikes. Of course, in the park, you're not supposed to go that fast. And that kind of helps this bike, because it can actually overdo the speed limit, which is 15. But as long as you have both hands on the handlebars, like I say, when you're pedaling, there's a lot more of this than the other bikes. At least it feels like it to me. In fact, it feels like it's a lot more. But us old codgers, we might pedal a little bit, but we like that throttle only. Maybe not all us old codgers, but a lot of us. I don't know what's going on up ahead of us. Fireworks stand. Yeah, I'm supposing that's what that is. Yeah, in Virginia, the state of Virginia, you can't get fireworks that go pow. You can only get the sparkly ones. In West Virginia, you can get the fireworks that go pow. So you can get bottle rockets and all kinds of stuff in West Virginia. Yeah, it's soaking up these bumps a lot better with this seat. A lot better. And I reset the trip meter, so we've went 2.6 miles so far. And these mirrors are working great. I may still switch them to go up top though. See how they do. If I had an Allen head on me, I'd do it right now. I tend to like them up higher though, because then you're not looking down at the ground, you know. You're practically looking down at the ground to look at these mirrors.
I like everything more in your field of view, you know, at least closer. But yeah, this seat takes a little getting used to because it leans from side to side and stuff. But once you get used to that part about it, it ain't too bad. And like I say, that seat soaks up the bumps a lot. Like I say, the first time I filmed a video on this, it seemed like the handlebars were up a lot higher. But right now it seems, I don't know why, it just seems like they're lower now. The way I was looking at it, I'm trying to see it in the camera. And I'm leaning back more, so hopefully you get everything in your shot, in the screen, so as you can seize it. But this thing's got the torques for a single motor bike. Yeah, all this looks like dirt and gravel. It's supposed to be cement sidewalk. That's from all the plowing of the snow, and they sprinkle salt with that little bitty gravel to give you traction in the winter. And it's piled up a lot. So all you see on this shoulder to the right of the road, that's that stuff too. This is all supposed to be pavement. Yeah, if you're just leisurely riding bike, I didn't want to try to turn too sharp there. I was afraid I'd slide. I don't feel as confident on this bike as I do that's that gravel hitting the fender. You could hear that metal fender going ting, 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 ting. Woohoo! But yeah, this thing, it's got the torques. It's supposed to be 52 volt and 1200 watt peak, I think. Now that knockoff, the L20 by GoKeep, is supposed to be 1300 watts and 52 volts. But I don't know. So some of these companies, especially the cheaper ones, the ones that nobody knows about them or whatever. Let's go ahead and go this way. Everybody and their brother's coming now. I'm trying to go before a car comes up behind me. There we go. Yeah, but for a smaller person, this bike would be great. Especially with the adjustable seat. You can adjust it down a pretty good amount. And reach the ground better, everything would be more. And if you're shorter, your arms are shorter. So, yes, doing up the hill, pretty fine. Climbing the hill just fine. Yeah, I do think I'm going to try to get the mirrors up on top of the handlebars. Because I think I feel a little more confident looking just above my hands rather than down at the ground. Almost ate a bug. Got some more coming up behind me. Some people are afraid to pass. Y'all they could have swept that off the road many times over since the last time they salted the roads. We'll probably speed up here. Yeah, a lot. And the brakes are working superbly. I'm rather impressed, and the reason why I'm impressed is they're just mechanical brakes. Coming down that hill, I had no issues whatsoever slowing down. Now, if you notice, if you watched all my Polarno X01 videos, I went down a steep hill and I could not slow down enough. And they're hydraulic. Let's get over on the sidewalk. I don't feel as confident riding the main drag with this bike as I would the bigger bikes. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. But hey, the way this seat's soaking these bumps up. Yeah, if you buy a bike like this, like I say, the new 3.0 is different now. It's a lot nicer, and it's got rear suspension. But there's still other bike companies like that Go Keep brand that makes one that's just like this. I mean, the frame is almost identical. The biggest difference is with Engwe, you got the nice digital screen on there, and all the clamps and clasps, or whatever you want to call them, they're a lot nicer. They're quality. The Go Keep was trash. I would not recommend that bike, and they still try to sell the crap out of them on Amazon and other places. I won't buy anything from Go Keep again. 18 don't seem that fast until you got to stop real quick. Woohoo! This is rough. That's from the salting of the roads. See, most cement is not resistant to the effects of salt. It eats the cement out. It's even affecting my phone. My phone's standing straighter up now that all these bumps. Woohoo! But yeah, for the price of this bike though, I got this bike to my house for under $700. It was, I can't remember exactly. I think it was like 90 more than the last one. I'm thinking it was 650 something. If I remember correctly, I can, that was nasty. Hopefully I don't have a stripe down my back. I don't feel nothing. But yeah, this bike, it does pretty good. And with this seat, it does even better than it did to start with. Woo. Very rough, very rough. Like I say, these sidewalks are at least 80, 90 years old. So they've held up very well. They've more than served their purpose, you know. I mean, they should have been replaced many, many moons ago. Oh, I should have. And a lot of these bikes use the Shimano 7-speed gear system, which this one uses, but it's more in spec. It's more, you know, there's no problem shifting this thing. I mean, a lot of these other bikes, you got to kind of fiddle with it. And it's not that hard. It's easy to get acclimated to how it works, you know, and shift it the way you need to shift it to make it work right. And And this is a fairly steep hill, and this bike's just trolling right up it. Doing just as good as any of the other bikes. Well, except the dual motor S8. Let's get off this bumpy sidewalk and away from these puddles. I'm just glad it ain't rained on me yet. I think I might have a... I don't know why I'm looking back behind me. I've got mirrors. My hand's getting a little numb. A lot numb actually, but yeah, I got my mirrors dialed in now. Just about perfect anyway. The big beautiful mountain. It is gorgeous. Silica. Get this thing. There we go. This bike does well though. But like I say, I just prefer a bike out of the box to do around 30. 28's close enough. And this bike, you know, is advertised to do 28, but you have to be pedaling. And of course your body weight has something to do with it, this, that, and the other, but this bike's got plenty of torques. Which I think is wasted on a bike that won't let you go more than 18 miles an hour on throttle only. Now here's a good test, because this road gets rough up here where there's a lot of patches. And this bike is soaking them up now with this new seat. Ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. It's almost like having rear suspension. I mean, it's almost that good. The brand of this seat is Bike-A-Roo. Bike-A-Roo. I've never heard of it. Got this at Goodwill for $3. I don't know if they, you know, if you can actually look them up and actually buy one somewhere on the internet or whatever. It's possible, I guess. And truthfully, if I could just go at least 25 on throttle only, because most of these streets in town are 25. And unless you want to pedal your butt off, on this bike you're not going to do it. But I mean, it will if you can pedal it. I'm old codger, I give out after a while. I need to pedal more of that. But yeah, this seat, I am super happy with my purchase. $3, probably one of the best $3 I ever spent. Smell like somebody cut the grass, but ain't no way it was mowing today. Well, I guess there is a way, but it would have been stupid. Because it was raining earlier. Like I say, I had to wait for the roads to drop. You saw the mud puddles. Yeah, this is actually a week after I did the, what you call it, the install of the mirrors in the seat. But yeah, this seat blows that factory seat out of the water. No, it's not even close. Not even close. You know, like I say, it's called Bikeroo. 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 It's like biker with OO at the end of it. I could have used my key fob. The numbness is coming out of my hands now that I'm standing up and not leaning on my hands. That's the thing too about me. See, these handlebars are slightly higher than the Polarna. And the seat is slightly higher. So that kind of puts you at about the same stance. But you get a smoother ride out of that and that. And that too, really. We definitely gonna do this one next. The Jan's No X50. Yeah. That was supposed to be the next bike when I did the last ride. But I was feeling like I wanted to have a lot of fun. I'd ride that bike every day if I had time. Oop. Yeah, my fingers are getting tingly where they're coming out of the numbness. But we did 6.6 miles, if anybody's wondering. I need to remember to reset the doohickeys on there. 6.6 miles. Values is what it says. Boom, now we're reset again. Next ride we go on, we'll, at the end of the ride, we can know exactly what we did. But yeah, this is a good bike. That one could be. The biggest thing is the little quick release clamps. They cheaped out on that, and like I say, this in here, I got one to replace the one down bottom. I'm gonna have to replace this one. And then I'm gonna have to still replace that one because I want that other one that's down there working right now to go on my bike it came off of, my Mongoose, my old Mongoose from 1999. Like I say, the frame. You look at the shape of that frame and everything, and then look over at this one, other than the color, the biggest difference is that box up underneath the battery. They got a lot bigger box up here. I'm assuming the controller on that in that box is a lot bigger than the controller in this box is tiny. It's little. So you're really, that's why I'm saying I've been looking. And there's a lot of, you can go on there and buy the box along with a screen to replace this junker and make it more like this. Similar, you know, at least. And some of them have that exact screen. This screen, look at the screen, shape of it and everything, the screen and all that. Other than where it says Engwe, that's the same screen on the Polarna. Same exact screen. And then the S8 and Jan's now have their own little screen like this one. It even has the little black lines that separates the stuff on the screen permanently there. And then when you turn it on, all the other stuff, you know, comes up. But yeah, you got your little how's it? This I actually like this bell better, and it's the cheap bike. And this I got on clearance. I just want to. I don't know if I'd really grab people's attention. Like I might no, I can't rob that because this one's built into the handbrake. Yeah, this one is actually its own thing up against the handbrake. I can add it to that bike, but I'm not gonna. But I do think I am gonna snagglize that rack and put it on the Engwe. But yeah, if you come across one of these, which I might have bought one of the last ones because the new one's been out a while, and I searched it a couple times after I bought this one, and they're not showing up anymore. So I may have grabbed one of the